Dear students, welcome to the economics class Indian Economy 1950 to 1990. Indian economic development. This is what our today's topic. A new lesson. So we will go through the economic planning. We will go through the economic planning. This topic we are going to discuss. It is a process under which a central authority defines a set of targets to be achieved within a specified period of time. What is economic planning? Economic planning. What is economic planning? It is a process. This word you need to remember. Remember this word, process. It is a process under which a central authority who will decide? A central authority defines a set of targets to be achieved within a specified period of time. Within a specified period of time, we wanted to achieve something. That is what actually economic planning. It is a process under which a central authority defines a set of targets to be achieved within a specified period of time. That is what actually economic planning. Okay, in this lesson we are also studying about capitalism. What is capitalism? There are different types of economies are in the world, mainly capitalism. Capitalist countries are there. For example, Britain, America, Japan, Australia, all those are capitalist economy. So we can check. Capitalism, it is an economic system in which major economic decisions like what goods and services are to be produced, how goods and services are to be distributed, are left to the free play of the market forces or the forces of supply and demand. In this type of economy, capitalism or capitalistic economy, government has no much role. Government has nothing to do with all those decisions. All these important decisions are being taken by market forces. Who are taking the decision? The companies, market forces. What goods and services are to be produced, how goods and services are to be distributed are left to the free play of the market forces or the forces of supply and demand. The suppliers and the buyers, they decide. Government has nothing to do with all these topics. Okay. So in this part, we have studied about economic planning. What is economic planning? It is a process under which a central authority defines a set of targets to be achieved within a specified period of time. Within a certain time, the economy wants to achieve something. Okay, that is, for that they need to plan some strategies. All those strategies are known as economic planning. So in this part we are also studying what is capitalism. It is an economic system in which major economic decisions are being taken by market forces or those who or the forces of supply and demand. So what kinds of decisions these market forces take? What goods and services are to be produced in the market? in the economy, what are the goods to be produced and what are the services to be provided to the people. Everything has taken by the market forces. How goods and services are to be distributed or left to the free play of the market forces or the forces of supply and demand. There are many big players, big companies. All those companies and also the consumers, they decide what to buy. The producers, they decide what to supply, etc. So, these are the main points we have studied in this page. We can move on to the next point, socialism. Okay. What is socialism? In the world, there are some countries, they are following socialism. We can check about it. Okay, socialism. Now we are studying about socialism. What is socialism? It is an economic system in which major economic decisions are taken by the government. The government will take the decision, not the market forces, not the companies. Okay, but in socialism, who is taking the decision? The government got the ultimate power. The government, keeping in view the collective interest of the society as a whole, for the sake of the society, for the benefits of the society, the government will decide what are the products need to be produced in the economy. Okay, that the government will decide. So, in the we can move to the next point, that is mixed economy. In the world, some countries are following mixed economy. Okay, this is socialism. You know that actually China is following socialism, Russia was following socialism. Okay, capitalist economy we have already studied. America is following so capitalist economy. Well, the Britain is following. Now we are going to study about the mixed economy. Which country is following the mixed economy? India. Okay, India is following the mixed economy. So, the best part of socialism and the capitalism has to be applied in the mixed economy, and we are following that. Okay. So, it is an economic system in which major economic decisions are taken by the central government authority as well as are left to the free play of the market forces. So, in India you know that government, some areas governments are doing, and in some other areas the market forces or private companies are also doing. Any individuals can also produce something, not only the government. Okay. So, in mixed economy, government as well as the private companies are working for the benefits of the society. That is what. Okay. So, in this page, 2 points, main points we have studied. One is socialism. China like economy is following socialism. Here the decisions are taken by the government, keeping in view the collective interest of the society as a whole. Okay. So, for the benefit of for the sake of the society, the government is taking decision. So, okay, the private forces, market forces cannot take their decision. They have to follow government's decision. That is what actually. But in India, we implemented mixed economy. We are following the mixed economy. It is an economic system in which major economic decisions, which decisions? Economic decisions are taken by the central government authority as well as the market forces. So private as well as the public companies are working together. Okay. So, government as well as the private organizations are working for the benefits of the society here. Okay. In the market, both are performing well. Okay. Here no restriction, private as well as public companies can work freely in Indian economy. Indian economy is a mixed economy. Mixed economy is example है हमारा Indian economy. Okay, so you need to remember all these points. So in this lesson we studied about economic policy, then we have studied about capitalism, socialism, mixed economy. General understanding you must have, all these topics. Okay, we can move on to the next point. Goals of 5-year plans. We were discussing about planning, economic planning. Okay, so actually goals of 5-year plans. What is goals of 5-year plans? Indian government started 5-year plans in order to develop our economy. So we can go through the details. A plan should have some clearly specified goals. It must have clearly specified goals. Okay, that is what actually a plan. A plan must have clearly specified goals. Okay, so we must have goals, and after that, for attaining the goals, we need to implement some strategies by which we can attain or fulfill our goals. Okay, the goals of 5-year plans we can check. 5-year plans. What is 5-year plans? Okay, government started some plans. Government started introduced some plans, that is known as 5-year plans. The plan's duration is 5 years. Within that 5 year certain period, okay, within that period the project would be completed. Okay, that is what actually 5-year plans. The period of this 5-year plan is 5 year. Growth, economic growth implies growth. That is the main point. Growth. We wanted to bring overall growth in our economy. Overall growth in our economy. Economic growth implies a consistent increase in GDP. So GDP, gross domestic production. Okay, gross domestic production or product, then its services, etc., need to be improved or increased in our country, then only our economy's growth will happen. Okay, so growth we wanted to bring. Then what we wanted to do? We wanted to bring overall changes in the field of production and services. Okay, a consistent increase in the level of output, or a consistent increase in the flow of goods and services. So the country needs to increase the flow of goods and services in our economy. This point you need to remember. What we wanted to do, if the country wants to bring economic growth, then what they needed to do? They needed to increase the flow of goods and services in the economy over a period of time, within a period of time, or within a certain period. What they wanted to do? They wanted to bring overall changes in the field of production and services. That is known as GDP, the value of products and services, goods and services. Then only the GDP will increase. So therefore they have changed some plans, economic plans, new economic plans and strategies they implemented, by which the government wants to bring growth in the GDP. They wanted to increase the GDP. Okay, then modernization. In order to change the GDP, the government wants to bring modernization in every field. Modernization in the field of industry, industrial development, infrastructural development, in the field of agriculture, in the field of transportation, in the field of science and technology. Everywhere we wanted to implement, the government wants to implement modernization to increase the production of goods and services to producers with the adoption of new technologies implementation we wanted to introduce. Okay, the government introduced modernization, fast changes we wanted to bring in our economy. That will happen only when we introduce modernization, modern equipment, science and technologies growth, okay, modernization in the field of transportation, modernization in the field of education, and modernization in the field of health and science. In every field we wanted to bring modernization, mainly in the field of industries, industrial development and infrastructural development. The modern technology has to be applied, then only the GDP will increase, otherwise GDP won't increase. Okay, so then self-reliance will happen. Self-reliance, we don't want it to depend other countries. Okay, it means avoiding imports of those goods which could be produced in India itself. What we wanted to do? We wanted to stop importing equipments or goods or any other service from other country. We don't want to import, we want to export. Okay, so the country which import goods and services from other countries are not in a good position. Okay, so what we wanted to do? We wanted to export goods from our country. That means we got good GDP, then only we can export. Okay, our infrastructural development is good, we are good in science and technology, we are implementing modern technologies, then only our production will enhance or improve, then only we can export products. So our ultimate aim is to export products from our country to other country. We don't want to import. When we import more products from other country, means our economy is not doing good. Okay, when we have a weak economy, then only we wanted to import goods from other country. We are dependent. But what we want, the government wants to be independent and self-reliance in every field. We wanted to attain self-reliance. Okay, we don't want to depend other country. What is actually, this policy was considered a necessity in order to reduce our dependence on foreign countries. We don't want to depend other countries for goods and services. Okay, so especially for food, okay, we wanted to produce more food items, food crops in our country. So India is the second largest populated country in the world, so we need more food. Okay, of course we needed to produce all those food in our country. We don't want to depend other countries, we don't want to import food items from other countries. So the government thought we need self-reliance. Okay, the next point is equity means it implies equitable distribution of income so that the benefits of growth are shared by all sections of the society. Now you see there are a lot of disparity in the society. There are a lot of some people have money, some people don't have money, some people are living a good life, but some people are not living a good life. The basic amenities are not available for some people. Okay, there are no good houses for many people. They don't have houses, their children are not receiving good education, there is no good health facilities for many. So we don't want such type of difference in the society. What we want every people are equal, and equally they must get employment, then they have to get proper education. Okay, the village people also get a proper education, and they must get employment opportunities. The government wanted to remove differences in the society. There should not be a difference between other people. Everybody must enjoy the basic needs. There are basic needs, food, makan, okay, house, cloth, etc. must be available for every people. Okay, so the equity we wanted to bring in the society. Okay, social justice we wanted to bring in our society. So economically, every people must enjoy their life in our country. Okay, Economic wise, there should not be up and downs. Some are, wealthy people and some are not wealthy people, like that. We don't want. No, we want wealthy people and industrialists we want, but that actually every people must, even poor people must have basic amenities like a house, cloth, food, etc. Okay, that is what actually we have studied in this page. We can move on to the next point. Agriculture. It refers to all those activities which are related to the cultivation of land. Agriculture means what? Actually, it refers to all those activities which are related to the cultivation of land for the production of crops, food crops and non-food crops. So there are many food crops, cash crops, etc. Non-food crops also. Okay, non-food crops means rubber we don't eat. Okay, rubber is there are many things, food crops name. Okay, silk. Okay, then that is a cash crop, cotton, etc. So many things that we do not actually eat. Okay, so many things we do not eat, but what we can do, that we can use as a raw material for our companies. Okay, industrial development. Then we need food crops. There are wheat, rice, etc. Okay, or soybean, all those we eat actually. So agriculture means it refers to all those activities which are related to the cultivation of land for the production of food crops as well as non-food crops. Importance of agriculture in the Indian economy. What is the importance of agriculture? Importance of agriculture. More people are engaged in agriculture in India. More than 70% of our India's population is working in the field of agriculture, cultivating so many food crops and non-food crops. So we need enough food, sufficient food. Okay, so we are the second largest populated country in the world. So our people, our citizens must get enough food. Okay, so agriculture can contribute more into GDP, gross domestic production, or products and services. Okay, more people are working in the field of agriculture, so more people are of course producing something, generating something, more services are there. Many agricultural companies are working in the field in order to change the agricultural level in India. Supply of wage goods. So these are the importance: contribution to GDP, supply of wage goods, giving more employment to people. Okay, giving more employment to the people. Industrial raw materials for silk, cotton, all those actually raw materials for factories. From where? All these are coming from agriculture only. Okay, then contribution to international trade. So in the that actually a lot of agricultural products we are exporting from India to abroad. So contribution to international trade is there. We export coconut oil, we export wheat, we export rice, so many things we are exporting like that. Contribution to international trade, contribution to domestic trade. Domestic means inside our country, within this country business is happening. Contribution to domestic trade, wealth of the nation. So it is increasing the wealth of the nation. So through the foreign trade as well, okay, we bring more money. So foreign money we receive, our country receive by exporting more products. So the same time Indian market is also receiving a lot of money transaction. So more money circulation is happening. It is assisting the GDP to grow. Supply of wage goods, employment opportunities, industrial raw material they provide. Okay, then contribution to domestic trade, wealth of the nation is increasing. All these points you need to understand. Agriculture is the main prime source of income in our country. Agriculture is the prime source of income in our country. Okay, we have a economy. The and its major part is from the agriculture. That's what. All these points you need to remember. We can move on to the next step. Problems of Indian agriculture. What is the problems of Indian agriculture? Okay, lack of permanent means of irrigation. Okay, now it is changing. Then also in many areas we have not provided proper irrigation. Okay, we want to improve our irrigation facilities. We wanted to increase our irrigation facilities. Deficiency of finance. Many farmers are lacking finance, proper finance they don't have. They don't have enough money. If they have more money, then they can invest more into agriculture field and they can produce more yield. Okay, so deficiency of finance. Nowadays you can see a lot of changes. Okay, farmers can get loans from banks. There are many banks like NABARD is there. Also so many commercial banks are operating in India. They are providing loans to our farmers. Okay, so a lot of changes is taking place nowadays. Conventional outlook. We wanted to change the traditional method of agriculture. Okay, so what cultivation? We were following mainly our farmers are following the traditional method of cultivation. That we wanted to change, and we needed to implement modern equipments, and also we wanted to promote more fertilizers, more better seeds, etc. We wanted to change the production. Okay, nowadays our government is also promoting organic farming. They are promoting, because when we use more fertilizers, in between we were using more fertilizers after 1950 to around 2000. Okay, we were around 50 years, our farmers were more engaged with these fertilizers. The more fertilizers they used in agriculture. But now our government as well as our farmers are promoting organic farming, because that less fertilizers are not using in organic farming. Okay, the traditional way of agriculture we are following. Then small and scattered holding. Okay, small and scattered holding is also a problem. Many farmers have very small areas only for agriculture. Okay, so small areas only for agriculture. What we want to do, that is why in some states they are doing group farming, so that 100 farmers join together in their farm, together they do the cultivation. Then the yield is also increasing, and another thing is that the less farmers can concentrate in that, so more productivity is taking place. Lack of organized marketing system. The marketing system is not in an organized way in our country. So the farmers nowadays they started opening their own cooperative society. They started their own cooperative society. Through their cooperative society they are also marketing their products. In some states government is also taking initiative. The government to buy products from goods and services from the farmers, and after that they are promoting the products. Okay, so lot of changes. These we needed to correct the problems. The farmers are facing problems. What are the main problems? Better irrigation they want finance, then they want modern technology, they want group farming. Okay, they want marketing. All these actually the government started correcting. Okay, the government needed to take care of it. The same time the society needed to take care of it, and we people need to take care of it, and we needed to understand the problems of Indian farmers. Okay, so all these points you need to remember: deficiency of finance, conventional outlook, small and scattered holding, and lack of organized marketing system, and lack of irrigation, scarcity of water, that also we needed to correct. Okay, so we needed to answer for all these troubles. Okay, we needed to correct it, we needed to find solution for all these issues. We can move on to the next point. Reforms in Indian agriculture, technical reforms. What are the reforms happened after 1950? The government started 5-year plans. Okay, so in order to provide more foods in our country. Okay, so agricultural reforms the government initiated, implemented new policies in the field of agriculture. The productivity we needed to increase, food production our country needs to increase. That is why then the reforms they started, the government introduced reforms. What are the technical reforms? Modernization, then use of high yield variety of seeds. Okay, more production will happen, more yield we will get from such type of seeds. Use of chemical fertilizers, government introduced. Scientific farm management and practices, our government started. Mechanized means of cultivation, modern new equipments through the machineries. Okay, machineries, more machines implemented, introduced. Then scientific farm management started, use of high yield variety of seeds, use of chemical fertilizers, etc. introduced our government. Okay, all these actually changed the face of Indian agriculture. Okay, more products came in our market, more goods, more food grains came in our market. Now our food production is surplus. Okay, we have more than enough. Okay, so all these happened actually, India attained all these transformation by implementing new reforms. What are the reforms Indian government started? All these technical reforms, use of HYV seeds, high quality seeds. Okay, then use of chemical fertilizers we introduced. Scientific farm management practices, you know that actually there are Krishi offices in every villages in India. So for scientific farm management they are spreading, they are teaching the farmers how to do farming scientifically. Mechanized means of cultivations, new technology implemented in the field of agriculture, new machines, equipments implemented in the field of cultivation. Then land reforms, we can see the land reforms. What are the land reforms? Okay, first we studied reforms in agriculture, now we are studying land reforms. Abolition of intermediate people, there are many, between the farmers and the consumers there are many intermediaries. So the government is trying to avoid them. Okay, then this is also land reforms, coming in the land reforms. Okay, so intermediaries means, you know that when Britishers, during the time of British rules, that time zamindars were there, zamindari system was there, the Indian government abolished that, all those. Okay, so intermediaries removal ho gaya, so abolition of intermediaries. Okay, between the farmer and the consumers, and between the farmer and the government there are no intermediate persons, there is no intermediaries. Then regulation of rent, so regulation of rent, there are changes happened in the rent. Now also government is actually providing land for lease, but there is a very limited taxes only they are taking. So the regulation of rent means that the regulation of tax is also coming in that. Okay, so before the government, the land tax was very high, the farmers could not afford it. Okay, because the zamindari system was there and the zamindars were charging high level of taxes. Okay, now consolidation of holding, land holding, there is a changes. Then sealing on land holding, so sealing on land holding also happened. So before more land was with the zamindars, now that changed. Okay, then cooperative farming introduced, The government introduced cooperative farming as well. Okay, then general reforms. So in some governments, you know that land holdings, what they removed the land holdings from many people. Many wealthy people, they were having lot of land, like acres and acres of land. After that, what the government captured all those land from them and distributed to the farmers who can farm, who can produce more products in the land. Okay, they have distributed their land. So then cooperative farming, that is what actually group farming. I have already discussed this with you. So group farming, cooperative society forming for the promotion of their food grains. All these things are happening nowadays. So lot of changes occurred in the field of agriculture. Our government has started so many reforms in order to increase the productivity in our country. That you need to remember. Then general reforms. What are the general reforms the government introduced? Expansion of irrigation facilities, new canals the government started. Okay, in every state you can see 1 or 2 canals nowadays. Okay, because it is a supplying. For what actually the canals started? Because they wanted to supply enough water for the farmers. Okay, to the farmers. Then only the more farming take place. Then provision of credit. The government is also supplying money for the farming. Okay, they need money. Before, who were actually giving money to the farmers? Mainly money lenders. Now what is happening? The societies are there, some banks are there, NABARD bank is there, then some cooperative banks are there, agriculture Grameen banks are there. All those banks are also providing money or giving money to the farmers for cultivation. Then regulated market. Government is controlling the market nowadays. Okay, sometimes government will also supply. Government is buying product from the farmers and correcting the market. Okay, so that the farmers get minimum amount. Okay, they do not go into loss. That is also happening. Then price support policy. That is what actually the price support policy. The government buy the products from the farmers and support the farmers so that they can save some money. They do not go into loss. So general reforms, irrigation facilities, started water supply for farming, then provision of credit, money, the financial support the government is doing. There are many different types of banks are there, commercial banks are there, agricultural banks are there, Grameen banks are there, then cooperative societies are there. All these financial institutions are supporting the farmers with enough money. They are providing money for the development of agricultural production. A market regulation with the support of price policy. So government is also sometimes buying products from the farmers, so they are supporting. Okay, so that the intermediate fellows are there, some dallals are there. Okay, they do not cheat the farmers. Okay, so the government is supporting our farmers because agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. More than 70% of its people are working in the field of agriculture. So we need to do agricultural promotion. We need enough food for our people. Okay, these are the main points we have studied here. So thank you, students. So I hope you have clearly understood all these topics. Okay, I request you to go through the lesson once more, then understand it more better way. Indian economy 1950 to 1990. Indian economic development. This is what our today's topic. Okay, the chapter name is Indian economic development. In our last class, we have gone through the various topics and you have already understood some areas of Indian economic development. Today, we can go through the details of marketable surplus. What is marketable surplus? It refers to surplus of farmer's output over and above his own farm consumption. Surplus means production is more, okay, more availability, products are more available in the market, okay, when the production is also more available, then we can say that is a surplus. It refers to surplus of farmer's output. Farmer's output, production is more, okay. Farmer's output over and above his own farm consumption. Farm consumption is happening, they are also using the food products. After their consumption, again production is more, okay. So we can say that is a surplus. Marketable surplus of wheat. What is marketable surplus of wheat is equal to output of wheat minus farm consumption. So production is more, even though they used more products, again the products are surplus, then we can say that is marketable surplus. Surplus is for marketable, in the market more products are coming, okay. So that is marketable surplus. It refers, marketable surplus refers to surplus of farmers output. Farmers output, the farmers production is more even after their consumption, they used for their livelihood or for their everyday food they used, then also the products are more available. So what they wanted to do, they wanted to sell all those products, okay, the surplus products. So that is what actually marketable surplus, surplus of production, for their use they have taken, the remaining part is a surplus, that is what actually it refers, okay. So then we can check what is green revolution. So market plus surplus is the first point that you have understood. The production is more, then green revolution, it started in India in the year of 1967 to 68. This date you must remember, 1967 to 68 the green revolution started. What was the purpose of goal of green revolution? It started in India in the year of 1967 to 68. In the year 67, 68 itself, food grain production increased by nearly 25%. So green revolution, why green revolution? Our Indian government started. Indian government started green revolution in order to increase the food production, okay. More food crops we want in our country, then only more people can be utilized it, okay. The famine we can eradicate, okay. Enough food supply would be in the market. That is why our government started green revolution. It started in 1967 and to 68 this year, 67 and 68. So within that time period we increased our food grain production around 25% of food grain production increased. We can see the higher growth of food grains production, it increased up to 25%. So much increase in food grain production in a country which earlier used to import food grains. Earlier our country was importing food grains. As we have already studied that Indians were exporting cash crops more and importing more food grains as well, okay. But after this green revolution, our government our government started green revolution in order to enhance the production of food grains. It happened in 1967 to 68. So Even in that time period, we experienced the production, food grains production increased by nearly 25% of growth we have seen. So much increase, that much increase happened in an economy which was importing food grains before. Our India was importing food grains, but you see, lot of transformation increase we experienced in those days. Why? Because we started green revolution. Why we started green revolution? Our government implemented because or in order to enhance the food production. So marketable surplus happened because of green revolution. You understood? The production became more. Before we were experiencing the scarcity of enough foods. Enough food was not available in our market, but after this green revolution, sufficient and more food, the surplus of marketable foods took place in our economy. The production was very high level production happened in our economy. That is what actually we are studying in this area. Okay, so we can move on to the next point, industry. Now we can check the industry. Industry provides employment in agriculture, it promotes modernization and overall prosperity. Of course, you know that industrial development we wanted to bring in our country. Then only more employment opportunities we can create in our economy. More people will get job. Before that, more people, the 70% of our population was engaged in agriculture. What we want? We want less people, more productivity in the field of agriculture. Less people must engage in the field of agriculture. So we wanted to do diversification in the field of agriculture. Different varieties of farm production must happen in our agricultural field. Also, we wanted to promote industrialization. More people come into the industrial sector. That is what actually our government is promoting. Industry provides employment in agriculture as well. Also, it improves modernization and prosperity in our country. So, industrialization is very important. It enhances the employment opportunity, also enhances modernization and overall prosperity in every level. So industrialization is must, that is mandatory. Every government must do this. Okay. Then importance of industries are as follows: structural transformation in the field of agriculture, industry and in the field of services. Structural transformation, lot of transformation, modernization we wanted to implement. So we wanted to move from the traditional method of agriculture to modernization in the field of agriculture. Structural transformation we wanted to, the structure we wanted to change, the agricultural production structure. Before we were using traditional method of agriculture. So now onwards the government implemented a lot of transformation. For that modernization they incorporated in the field of, implemented in the field of agriculture, incorporated with the agriculture. Then industrial development we wanted to introduce. The government started already industrial development. Everything is possible only when modernization and industrial development incorporate each other, when we implement each other. Okay. Then in the field of services also, services, okay, the production and services, that is what decide the GDP level. So we wanted to bring overall development, overall changes in our economy. So the structural transformation our government started successfully. Then source of employment, of course industrialization will enhance the employment opportunities. Then source of mechanized means of farming. So now you can see farming totally transformed, group farming is there, mechanized farming, okay, the structural farming, then industrialization, machine farming, lot of equipments our government implemented in the farming. So now our farmers are not following traditional method of farming. They have also started societies for the promotion of their agricultural products. So the planned way of they are actually producing more products. Okay, then imparts dynamism to growth process. This is actually marketing also. The production is enhancing, so the better way we want to market the products of our farmers. Therefore societies, group farming, then lot of societies, cooperative societies, then the government is also buying. So such a proper way the production and its marketing is happening, imparts dynamism to growth process. All those new policies can transform the agriculture and its production and its marketing. So marketing is also very important. Farmers are producing more product, then they also want to market it properly, otherwise they may not get any growth, financial growth they may not get. Okay, so the government started so many ways to promote our agriculture as well as industrial promotion. Then only modernization take place, and then only overall prosperity our economy can experience or attain. Okay, so growth of civilization. So exploration, new in the field of new technology we are applying. New exploration, we are doing a lot of exploring new ideas in the field of industrialization and agriculture. Okay, then what is it? Infrastructural growth is also there. So in a trade also, a society can, or a society or an economy can develop through the trade and exploration. Conflict is also there. Actually conflict means, we can say here it is actually healthy competition. We can say healthy competition must be in the society. Through the healthy competition, through the trade and exploration, we want to explore new ideas in every field. Then only growth of civilization can take place. Growth of civilization can take place through the trade, competition and exploration. Okay, so that is happening. Our government is allowing it healthy way. Then infrastructural growth, we have already studied that infrastructural growth must be there. We need good transportation, good technology, modern technology implementation, then science and technology, then education, then buildings are there, roads must be there, the irrigation facilities must be there, then fertilizers must be provided, then only infrastructural growth will arise, or the growth will take place. So I trust you have understood all these topics very well. Industrial promotion, modernization, overall prosperity, it will happen only when we implement all these processes, all these steps. Structural transformation must be there in the field of agriculture. There must be transformation. For developing all these transformation in the field of agriculture, what we need to provide? Irrigation we need to provide, water supply we need to provide, then fertilizers we need to provide, more good seeds, high yield variety of seeds we need to provide. Then industrial development we wanted to bring, then in the field of services also we wanted to bring changes, then only structural transformation will happen. Okay, the structure of our economy we need to redefine, or we wanted to transform. That will happen only when we provide, when we create such as strategies. These are the strategies implemented our government in order to change the economy's growth, Indian economy's growth. Source of employment we wanted to enhance, improve. Source of mechanized means of farming. There must be new ideas in farming, okay, group farming, etc. we needed to. Then also the machineries, modernization, dynamism of growth process, the marketing strategies, new ideas, so many things we wanted to implement in the field of industrialization and in the field of agricultural sector. Growth of civilization through the trade, through the competition, healthy competition, then through the scientific exploration, then structural growth. We have already studied the structural growth we wanted to change in our country, then only overall development will happen. Structural growth means what are the roads, transportation, modernization, basic needs, irrigation, then even health service also we wanted to change, okay. Everything can only, when all these topics can work together, then only the proper structural transformation will happen in our country, okay. That is why our government is implementing all these processes properly, okay. Then we can move on to the next point. Industrial Policy Resolution 1956, threefold classification of industries, industrial licensing, our companies, we can register company, then industrial licensing. So if you wanted to start some company, then you wanted to do what? License, you wanted to take license, okay. Without the proper way, you should not do the business. The proper way we wanted to register our company, licensing we needed to follow, okay. So from the local body government is there, then the state government is there, and also the central government is also there. Nowadays our government is also promoting public private cooperation in the field of industrial promotion. So all these are actually happening. Then the private sector, see, the private sector, it was assigned only a secondary role in the process of industrialization. Industries in the private sector could be established only through a license from the government. So the government is also started providing license for starting a private organization. If you wanted to start a private company, then you needed to obtain license from the government, okay. Without the proper sanction from the government, you should not, or you cannot start the business, okay. So it is very important, the promotion of private sector in order to enhance our economies. India is following mixed economy, so the private as well as the government companies are working freely in our country. Small scale industries are there, small scale industries, large scale industries are there, and small scale industries are also there. There were accorded a high priority with the view of promoting the goals of employment and equity. Our government wants to promote the goals of employment and equity. The government wants to promote equity. All are equal. People must have enough money. People must have proper cloth, for proper food, and proper housing facilities. Okay, the houses. So the proper education also we wanted to provide. The basic needs our citizens must have. So that is why, in order to attain our citizens' basic needs, the government wants to support our citizens, the people of our country. That is why our government is promoting small scale industries, agriculture, proper agriculture, education, okay, all those things. Why our government is promoting? Because employment opportunity they wanted to create, and also equity in the society we wanted to bring, the balance in the society. People are equal. Import substitution. Import substitution. What is import substitution? Blocking import of goods. Our country should not import more goods from other countries. So actually should not import anything. A country must export goods to other countries. That means that country's economy is good, the GDP is good. Okay, so our government wants to reduce import substitution, blocking import goods. Inward looking trade strategy is called import substitution. We wanted to increase domestic production. The production in our country we wanted to enhance or improve. We don't want to depend on other countries. More import means more dependent. That we don't want to do. You should not also depend others. Okay, so self-reliance must be there. We wanted to bring self-reliance and satisfaction, self-respect, all those things we wanted to inculcate, we wanted to promote, we wanted to implement in our country. Okay, so inward looking trade strategy is called import substitution. So trade strategy, inward looking. So within this country, in our country, we wanted to develop industrialization. We should not look outward, we should not depend other countries, we should not look other country to supply goods to our country. Okay, we wanted to produce more goods in our country. That is what actually inward looking trade strategy. We wanted to promote trade within this country and we wanted to export goods to other countries. That is what actually the trade strategy. Import substitution means blocking importing goods from other country. So I trust you understood this topic. Okay, so the point is import substitution and promotion of small scale industry. We wanted to promote more small scale industries. Okay, you know that actually many people have their own small industries in their home and also in outside also, small scale industries. Few people only work there, 1 to around 20 people, 10 people, all those comes within the small scale industries list. Okay, all those things actually we wanted to promote. So 2 points we have studied here, small scale industry and import substitution. Import substitution means blocking the import. Okay, so necessary goods we have to create here, we have to promote here, we must develop all those the creation, the industrialization must happen within this country so that self-reliance will happen, we can export more products to other countries. Okay, that is why more commercial banks and more industrial banks are providing more loans to our people. So nowadays Mudra loan, recently our government started Mudra loan. So by taking that Mudra loan, you can also start a business. Okay, after completing your education, you can visit any good bank. So you can also visit industrial offices which is available in every taluk or district level. So you can go and visit and get more idea about industrialization and business planning. Then they will also give you training, they will also arrange the financial support for you from the banks, they will guide you properly. Okay, so I trust you have already understood the topic. Now we can move on to the next point. On 15th August 1947, India attained its freedom, that you all know very well. Okay, we got freedom on 15th August 1947, India attained freedom. After independence, what happened? Nehru and many other leaders decided the type of economic system that will prove beneficial for India. After gaining the freedom, after receiving the freedom from the Britishers, okay, we got freedom in 1947. After that, our first prime minister was Nehru. Okay, Nehru and many other leaders, okay, our economists and all other highly educated leaders decided the type of economic system that will prove beneficial for India. They were discussing about our economy. You know, you have already studied that there are 3 types of economies available in the world. First is capitalism, second is socialism, and third is mixed economy. So, okay, India started following mixed economy. Mixed means, you know, that we took the best part of socialism, and also we have taken so many best part of capitalist economy. Okay, so Nehru and many other leaders decided the type of economic system that will prove beneficial for India. So for India's economic growth, in order to achieve the objectives of growth with the equity, mixed economy was introduced as the economic system of India. Nehru and other leaders selected mixed economy for our country's economic growth. So they understood that in order to achieve the objectives of growth with equality must be there. Everyone must get the benefit. So that will possible only when India follow mixed economy. That is why our Indian leaders selected mixed economy for India's economy, and they introduced as the economic system of India. India is a mixed economy now. So India is the best example for mixed economy, and you can see overall changes in our country, the private as well as the government participation in every field you can see. Okay, here in India there is no restriction, anyone can start business. Okay, in socialist economy, so they have to follow the government's decision, the ruling party's decision. But in India what is happening? We have freedom, we can register our company, any private individual can start his own business. The government is also supporting with the financial assistance as well as industrial training. The entrepreneurship training is also our government is providing. So you can utilize everything. That is why the changes you can see now in our India. India is the 5th largest economy in the world now. So lot of this transformation took place in India because of our great leaders' vision, and we are following mixed economy, private public participation in every field you can see in India. So all those things actually transformed Indian economy. I trust you have understood what I taught now. I request you to go through the lesson once more and try to understand more about the topic. Thank you so much.